number out because I can't see it.
What?
Write the number big on there so I can say it. Write the number big on here.
Lights, camera, action. Folks, welcome down to the Tony Sands Show, live at the Tilted Kilt on the corner of Andrews and 2nd Avenue. We have the biggest announcement going down here live at the Tony Sands Show. It is 4-star top prospect from St. Thomas Aquinas making his college announcement, Sam Bruce, Tony.
Man, listen, I'm going to tell you something. This is an exciting day for the Tony Sands Show, exciting day for South Florida, exciting day for
You sweep up under the rug,
and
then you kind of say, okay, let's kind of move forward from this. If you can, and it seems as though they found a way out by settling.
Florida State settles a federal Title IX lawsuit with the former student who alleged that former quarterback Jameis Winston sexually assaulted her in December 2012. But this is the biggest part of this, and this is the part that gets me a lot, to where lawyers make more of the money than anybody.
Yeah.
The school will pay out $950,000. $950,000. Which she would get $250,000. She'll get $250,000. But guess what? Her attorneys would get $700,000.
Yeah.
That's amazing how you go through the trauma, if there was any trauma or whatever happened.
Right.
But you get the lower end of the deal, and your attorneys get the majority of the deal.
Yeah, and that's how that whole thing plays out for lawyers. That's why, hey, you need them because a lot of times, you don't understand that judicial system.
Right, you don't understand the traditional, the lawyer system, the legal system, the judicial system of what's going on. But you only walk away with $250,000. They walk away with a prize of $700,000, $300,000 away from a cool meal.
Yeah.
From a cool $1 million.
Yeah, and that's that.
$1 million.
They won't drop the ball again as a university.
No.
They won't.
And they said they're going to do a lot of things to try to get a lot of this stuff right. Because with the gender equity Title IX, you better get it right, bro.
But if you look at it, in terms of the school paying that out. If we really look at it, Jameis made that money for the school during the time that he was there.
Oh yeah, he made over that.
So it's like you're taking from a general account.
Yeah,
he made over that.
He
made over that. So it's like, okay, we were plus. We were in the we were in the green, or what you say? We were in the green. Now we go ahead and we just pull a little bit from the kitty and go ahead and
you just take that.
Yeah.
But Kelsey, let's get into this. Now ask me this question, because we're going live to Denver in a good 30 seconds. We're going live to Denver with our NFL analyst that covers the Denver Broncos up, down, in, out, knows Peyton Manning. Should he? Should not he? Should the Broncos keep him? Should they not keep him? And what's the future for the Denver Broncos? Tell me this. Which is a bigger story? The way the Denver Broncos handled the New England Patriots, or how Carolina manhandled Arizona? Which one is bigger to you?
The biggest story is going to be Denver and Peyton.
You think it's Denver and Peyton?
That's how it's set up. If you think back, the same situation,
but why
you got to think of it on a larger
scale. But why you
scale.
But you said Peyton. Is it Peyton? Because I didn't really see Peyton do much. I saw the defense take control of it.
It's
Now,
coming.
but do they now in this process though? Do they make Jameis Winston the villain? Do they make Jameis Winston the villain and say that hey, we gotta get Peyton Manning this victory is his last goodbye
Oh, you
speech,
mean
his last
do they make
hurrah?
Cam Newton?
The villain is
Cam
Cam
Newton the
Newton the
villain.
villain. Cam is young, he got time to win. Everybody start rooting for Peyton Manning.
They're not going to even mention Cam's name.
You think with all the hype that Cam's had, you think Peyton Manning overrides this?
I think both teams are coming in on two different outlooks.
Same.
You have Peyton riding off in the sunset, and
Correct.
remember,
Correct.
his president, John Elway,
Correct.
went out the same way. So how much John Elway will be setting this up for Peyton
Correct.
to go out this way, and how many
Now,
people would like to see we in sports like the perfect story, the movie ending,
Yes,
where
yes.
he rides off into the sunset, championship.
That's us.
That's us. Okay.
That's us.
Now, sports will be all over that. A small portion will be left for Cam.
So you're saying right now, the bigger headline is going to be Peyton Manning going into the Super Bowl over the dabbing, over Cam Newton handing the football to the young kids, over all that.
No doubt.
But
no doubt.
Hold on, let's tap into that one.
Right.
We got my main man Vaughn Carter, NFL analyst for the Denver Broncos, join the show. What's up, Vaughn? What's going on, baby?
How you doing?
B man, listen. Not only are we here in South Florida talking about the Super Bowl, getting ready for the Super Bowl, but right now the biggest story that we're gonna tackle here on the Tony Sands Show is the signing, the commitment of one of the nation's explosive athletes in high school. He will decide on our show tonight, do he go to Ohio State, do he go to Miami, or do South Carolina Gamecocks trickle in and steal him? Who's going to be the best place for his service? He will announce it here on the Tony Sands Show. But let's get into this because we saw Peyton Manning and me. You talked about it last week in the car as I was driving to the show. We talked about, do Peyton Manning, if he make it to the Super Bowl, at some point, do they keep Peyton Manning for another contract, or do they say, okay, Peyton, listen, you've done all you can do here with us, and we love your services. Do we now see the Broncos start trying to move toward Brock Osweiler, or do they stay on with Peyton Manning? Correct. So you're saying Peyton Manning goes and win this game. Do Peyton decide I am done? Now Peyton is one of those guys that do you see that Brett Favre type to where I'm not ready yet? I want to continue to play. I think I still can play. And at that point, do it put pressure on John Elway to make a decision? Correct. Mm-hmm. Correct. Mm-hmm. Correct. Correct. But now let's look at, like you said, this could possibly be a change in the way the Denver Broncos go because when you look at that defense, how many of those guys are up for contract? Correct. Correct.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Now, you
Even
know they're
past
saying
Sue?
no.
Even more than Sue?
Not Sue is. Listen, they're saying the record-breaking contract is going to be the corner Norman for Carolina.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they say his
You're
contract
actually
is going to
joking.
be a record-breaking contract.
No,
Yeah,
no.
his contract will be a record-breaking contract.
I
I'm getting that. I'm getting that from inside GM, just telling me his contract could be one of the biggest contracts that you see.
that team would be
Yes.
Cleveland Part 2. I can't wait to hear that. That's
I
Cleveland
don't.
Part
But
2.
now they win the Super Bowl. He was smart. I'm gonna tell you, it worked out to his advantage because they was negotiating before the season started.
Right.
But he decided he would play out this deal.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
will play the deal out,
Mhm.
and it has worked in
In
his,
his
favor.
Oh, yeah. He's
to,
sitting pretty.
to play this deal out. Hey, I'm gonna ride it out. A lot of guys that happens and it don't work out for him. In his favor work, and they're saying right now he would have the record-breaking deal, especially at the defensive side.
Wow.
And I can see it. You paid corners. Yes, 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 yes. Correct. Correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ah, listen.
Yeah, that's secondary.
Yes, listen. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know if they saw a lot of film, and they said they saw some film over the course of this year, and they said if I give this guy a short corner, if I get low, because if you notice, DeMarcus Ware did the same. They were playing mirror type defense on
Yeah.
both sides of those ends, to where they got so low that tackle couldn't get down, and at some point they was beating the tackle before he even started moving.
Open up, yeah.
Tom Brady had nothing. But does it goes to show if you do not, I don't care who you are, if you do not have a great offensive line, this is what's going to happen to you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is what can happen to you.
Kudos to Wade Phillips.
But now tell me this, though. They face another type of defense. When Peyton Manning will get that tough defense out of Carolina. Those guys come now. Now, Carolina, they lost Davis because of the broke hand, but he's vowed that he's going to play broke hand or not.
Yeah,
he is playing.
Yeah, he'll put on the cast.
He said he will not miss this game for nothing. It is what it is. So now, but tell me, V, you've been around the Denver Broncos. You've been around them guys. Which one is the biggest story? I asked Kelsey about this earlier. Which one is the biggest story? Do they make Cam Newton out of the villain in this game, or does Peyton Manning take all the highlights because they're saying he's getting ready to ride off into the sunset, or does Cam, being player of the year, overrides Peyton Manning's success? Correct. 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 Yes. Correct. And you look at it right now. He is the biggest. He is the biggest story right now in the NFL from the standpoint of he's smart marketing for Carolina, because now guess what? He's breeding younger fans that will be Carolina Panther fans for a long time. Not only that, he's making Carolina a lot of money because guess what? If I'm a kid and I like Carolina, Dad, I'm putting the pressure on you to buy those tickets so I can go to the game. Not only those tickets, but I want lower bowl seats so when they get ready to get in the red zone, I can come down to the fence. So now that makes them, Carolina, a lot more money than anybody.
Yeah.
Than anybody.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. 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 Yeah. I mean, it can only get, I say, it can only get bigger from the standpoint of, hey, if Cam win this, can you imagine how many they're gonna buy season tickets early and they're buying them lower bowl? They buy them lower bowl. The kids want lower bowl. They don't want upper bowl. And
Mm-hmm.
the parents will go so much as they'll save up that money for those lower bowl seats.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, when you're looking at, because like I said, when you're playing on the other opposite side of a Von Miller,
Over Von Miller.
that overshadows you automatically also. That automatically shadows you also. So that kind of puts you at a disadvantage right there anyway. That puts you at a disadvantage anyway. But let's dig into it because we got a big show. Give me your predictions on this Super Bowl. Who do you see winning? I know you are a Broncos insider, so I'm naturally thinking you may lean toward the Broncos. Do defense supersede offense in this game?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Right.
Wow.
And I like what you're saying there, Vaughn. Added to that, because I'm an X's and O's guy. Do you think that we are missing an X factor in this? And you're talking about Carolina secondary being their weak spot of their defense. Do you think that Peyton in film study now sees that his tight ends, Daniels and who is it, Davis, does he get a chance to kind of get them the ball matched up against Roman Harper and the other safety from Carolina and seeing that as a mismatch? Mhm. Right, right. Yes.
Yes. Hey, Beat, man, it was a pleasure.
With that, right.
Hey, B man, it was a pleasure having you here. We're gonna right, correct.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not.
I agree.
Hey, B man, it's a pleasure having you here on the Tony Sand Show. Hey, listen, I'll see you at the Super Bowl in San Francisco. We're headed to a commercial break. We're gonna leave out with a fight song, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna dig into some more topics. We're gonna have my man Ryan Bartow joining us, and we're gonna dig into some big topics here on the Tony Sand Show. It is decision night.
Thanks, Vaughn.
Going to a commercial. The food here is awesome. When I say, oh man, I normally get the chicken wings, but I didn't get the chicken wings. Kelsey has kind of persuaded me to go with the chicken sandwich. He's finally persuaded me his way to go to chicken sandwich. As I started looking at my waistline, I started saying, I may stay away from the chicken and go with the chicken sandwich. Now, the chicken sandwich is good. I ain't going to deny that.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
denying that it ain't good.
Come
It
over
is.
to the dark side.
Listen, it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm
Food
telling
is
you, man.
excellent. I'm going to tell you something. Super Bowl night here is going to be crazy. You're able to go VIP at the Tilt to Kilt. You can get the sofas, sit up here and watch it on the big screen as if you are
Big
in
leather
your
couches.
own home.
Yeah, big leather couches. This is nice. You're roped off
Oh, when
down
I say
here with the
awesome,
crowd, but you're roped off in your own section. What is this? What would we call this size TV? This is like
I don't even know what size that is.
150 inch, 150 inch down here. So I it's going down here on Super Bowl Sunday. So this is a nice VIP setup they have for you down here at the Tilted Kilt live, where we are awaiting a big decision.
It's decision
from
night.
Our top
Decision night.
prospect,
Decision night.
Sam
Decision
Bruce
night.
from St. Thomas Aquinas
The
High
most
School.
explosive player in the country.
He will be making his
explosive
big
moves.
decision of where he will be.
It is what it is. It goes down here on the Tony Sands Show. But Ryan, let's get into this now. It's 24/7. My main man Ryan Bartow, CBS, will be all over National Signing Day, and we will have what we call a pre-National Signing Day on next Monday night. We're going to bring in some top guys that are making, that are going on to bigger and better things, who are trying to make moves to change their lives, not only now, but for the future.
Yes.
When it comes to signing. Because when you sign, to me, I tell people all the time, when you sign a national letter of intent, Division I, NAI, whatever it is, it changes your life forever. I know it changed mine. It put me in a situation to where, hey, I am right now, and when you look at Kansas, I am one of their greatest guys, legends to come through, and that means volumes, and that's what you want to leave on your impact on a college. Is your name all plastered across it? Because that's what I wanted to do. That's what a lot of young men now want to do. They want to come in, do what they got to do, academically, athletically, and be that community person to where when people see you, you are considered top notch.
Yes.
Ryan, let's get into some of this stuff.
The next Tony Sands is headed to Rock Chalk Jayhawk land. As first reported by your boy Saturday night, Khil Herbert. One of the absolute steals, not only in South Florida, but the country, verbally commits to David Beatty and company. He's a Power 5 guy. He was overlooked. He was at a different school as a junior, transfers in American Heritage.
Correct.
Runs for 900 yards, 7 yards a carry, has the grades, has the upside, has the tread on his tire, is able to catch the ball. He's got a lot that you like, and he's going to go up there and fill those big shoes that a guy that we know and love did 25 years ago from Paradise and go up there, and I have no doubts that he's going to be a guy for them.
Yes, he's good. He's making the same moves I made back in '88, where I went to a program, like I said, it was down, and I said I wanted to make sure when I leave this program is a winner, and from that on, your name be forever embedded. When they see that Jayhawk, especially here in South Florida, they think of Tony Sands because I was that person that was there. Now Khil is making that move to where he's going there, and now you can see how the media is persuading him. And they call me on it, and what I think is a great move, brilliant move, brilliant move. He will go there. The community loves him already. They love him already, and they're looking at this could be that next generation of pipeline to sending guys from South Florida to Kansas. Because when we go abroad, as I call when you leave the state, I call you going abroad. When we go abroad, our guys do the best everywhere that they go.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, let's dig into the crystal ball, because the crystal ball is what it is.
Yes.
That crystal ball that you put up each and every week is awesome. Let's dig into, and the biggest one right now is my main man, Sam Bruce.
Yeah,
He
and
would make that.
you know what? He's down to Ohio State, South Carolina, Miami. A week ago, I'm thinking Ohio State's in there pretty good. But can he leave Paradise? Can he leave the team that he grew up liking? And what does mom want? Usually 9 out of 10 times when you get mom, you probably get the kid. So who knows? The crystal ball right now, I think it's an Ohio State-Miami battle right now. And shoot, we are only a half hour away from letting him
Decide that.
tell the world. So he's going to have his moment, and it's going to be a memorable one.
And right now, like I said, right now the spikes are high when it comes to a lot of this. But let's get into some of the guys in South Florida that are leaving South Florida, heading off into Syracuse. And there's a kid that was Amid, is one of the kids that's on that crystal ball that's heading to Syracuse. Give me a little bit on him and what you know about him.
I'll tell you this much. I think two programs won the weekend this weekend. Michigan had a great weekend.
Yes.
Obviously, their weekend started early like any good weekend on Thursday when David Long publicly chose the Wolverines. He's out of Los Angeles. He's a 4-star cornerback. That's a big get for Harbaugh.
Correct.
He got 2 3-star linebackers to commit last night, including one from Miami Columbus in Josh Uche, a guy that a lot of people thought was going to go with Randy Shannon to the
Correct.
Gators. Michigan's as hot as anybody in the country right now. The other team that won the weekend, Syracuse. Syracuse, led by defensive back coach Nick Monroe, Slick Nick. He's doing a great job in South Florida, and a lot of guys that, for whatever reason, are getting overlooked. McKinley Williams, a
Correct.
deep tackle out of Dillard, 6'4 and a half, 260.
Wow.
A lot of upside.
So they got
Jaquan Nelson from Fort Lauderdale High School,
Correct.
6'4", 230 defensive end. So you got those two that are going to be playing next year. You already got the big linebacker from Dillard enrolled in Kenny Ruff. Plus, they go in and flip one from FAU yesterday morning. Another breaking news story on 24/7 Sports in Rashard Smith, who I think's got upside, a 6'2", 200-pound linebacker that had a great season for Homestead. So Syracuse has got some momentum right now. They're still looking at a couple more guys in South Florida, especially big lineman Stu Reese out of Fort Pierce. But I think that's going to be a trend going forward with Nick Monroe with his ties down here. Syracuse is going to come down here in the spring. They'll offer 60 guys. They'll wonder, is this the right thing to do? Of course it is, because the 5th, 6th, and 7th in South Florida are better than the 1st in New York.
North,
so-
yeah.
And that's
I agree.
And you know, when we talked about that a while back, when we talk about some guys 1 tier versus Florida's 3rd and 4th tier is better than a lot of the other states 1 tier.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, and when you look at the recruiting game, do you say, okay, do these recruiters go and say, we rather take this in-state guy that's a 1 tier versus coming down to Florida taking a 3rd tier or what they consider a 3-star or a 2-star guy over a 4-star guy in another state?
Because these kids, one, they have speed. That's
Correct.
when all these teams come down here and raid South Florida, the
Correct.
first thing they're looking for is speed.
Speed.
Plus, all these kids got upside. They've only
Yes.
eaten once a day. They started lifting later on. So Syracuse is, with that staff at Bowling Green, they were 4th in the country in offense last year. They run a similar offense to Baylor. That's going to appeal to recruits. And you pack in that dome and get it rocking with a powerful offense, with mixed in with just enough of that South Florida speed. I think that's a winning. I think that's a winning
combination.
recipe.
Yeah,
But
that's
now
a winning recipe.
let's get into this now. Alabama's making moves down here also now.
Oh my God.
Alabama, Cristobal is making moves on the crystal ball.
Super Mario. He was probably up at 4:15 this morning drinking his Cuban coffee looking for whoever's next. I can probably confirm that one. But anyways,
He threw you out a teaser.
Alabama had 24 kids on campus this past weekend.
Yeah, this is
8 5-stars, 11 4-stars. They had more talent on their campus than the Under Armour All-American game had in Orlando. It was,
This was their
it
big
was
weekend,
loaded.
right?
But that,
It was loaded, and I talked to a couple guys yesterday. Amon Richards, a 4-star receiver, and West Palm Beach. I think Alabama's probably betting number 2 behind Miami for him. I think Landon Dickerson, 5-star offensive lineman from North Carolina, he went into that weekend. Florida State and Tennessee tied. Well, Alabama is firmly in that mix now.
but I,
It's a 3-way dance. He's going to be at Tennessee this weekend, and then he's going to have a tough choice for himself. But they're loaded. A guy that we can see on the screen right there, 5-star linebacker Ben Davis.
yes.
His dad played at Alabama. We know where he's going.
Oh, that
You
that's
check
no
the
doubt.
crystal ball there,
That's
all
not-
36 predictions are on Alabama. And he's a
But
stud.
I mean, when Alabama walks in, you know, you look at this is Alabama national champions.
Yeah,
How is it
four
hard
times.
for a guy to turn down Alabama?
And they get to
They
be
get to pick
real
what they want.
choosy. I know some kids right now one in South Florida, one in Texas, running backs that would love to go to Alabama, but they're third and fourth on that board. And Nick might say, hey, we're only taking one back. And if he takes the second one, it's going to be the second one. And then those third and fourth.
yeah, they out of whatever. Nick's gonna take whatever he feels fits the scheme because I'm quite sure these guys that he's looking at got to be a big back.
Very scheme specific.
He go big backs.
And most of all, he wants guys that are going to be able to handle that process of being there.
Wow.
Because some of those kids, they might have
don't have
other
those,
interests.
Yes.
Because when you're at Alabama, that's why they're so successful. Is it's the closest thing you're going to get
To the National Football
an NFL.
Right.
Yes.
In terms of the preparation that goes into it.
The National Football League, because like I say, you're a scout at the NFL level. When you look at that crystal ball, when he's out, Super Mario, when he's out, they're looking for guys that are what the pros are looking for.
But in terms of body types,
Yes.
in terms of size,
Yes.
and a lot of times in terms of being close to already developed.
Yes.
Sometimes,
Yes.
yeah, where other programs you're taking a chance on a guy saying, okay, he's going to get 40 pounds bigger or he's going to
Yes.
get faster or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I love those upside guys. That's what I'm looking for.
It's got to be big.
But
Got to
when
be
you're
big.
at Alabama, you're looking for a little more finished product.
Yeah.
Yes, you're looking for that guy that you know is only going to be there 3 years and out.
Yeah.
Because they're guys, it's very rarely guys that stay 4 years and actually stay at Alabama.
Yeah,
for instance,
they-
Calvin Ridley, I only see him playing 2 more years there, and that's because he has to.
Because he has to.
And I see him at that point going on, but at that point they'll be meaning of looking for that next Calvin Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be looking for that next Calvin Ridley to fill his spot. So when he's gone, they'll be saying, okay, we thought we couldn't replace Calvin Ridley, but now we have another guy that's replacing Calvin Ridley because it's like Calvin Ridley replaced other great receivers that are having great success.
Amari
and
Cooper.
Amari Cooper that's having
Yeah,
success.
that's what happens when you sign the number one class in the
Yes.
country 4 years in a row. You got dudes on top of dudes on top
Yes,
of dudes,
yes,
like
yes.
some places, and they just won the national title, but their offensive line's going to be better next year. They're going to be better
of course.
at some other positions.
Of course.
Just because some of these seconds and third string guys were better than the ones started. The only reason they didn't start is because they were younger.
And Ryan, they had guys that came back that was actually intended, or some of the NFL prospects was thinking they were going to go ahead to the next level and go to the NFL. But some of those guys surprised them and said, no, they're coming back for another year. So they got a lot of guys that return
Yes.
that still have a lot of talent off of the national championship team. So
Yeah, I mean, their QB next year will probably be Blake Barnett. Well, he was a 5-star out of the best place in the country to get QBs, Southern California. And, I mean, some of these offensive linemen, they've signed the best offensive line class in the country 3 years in a row. So, I mean, if you thought it was good, it ain't going away.
it ain't
It ain't going away. But now, Ryan, let's look at Florida here in the state of Florida. When you look at as we look at the big three, I know it's South Florida and Central Florida, but I still call it the big three because they was the original. Where does Florida fit in this recruiting process of how high they will be ranked as far as recruiting? Or do they fall behind Miami or they're in front of Miami?
Well, in terms of right now, the program in the most health, the best situation, and it has been the last 5-6 years, is definitely Florida State.
Correct.
That's the offer that has probably the most appeal for most of the kids just because they're winning the most consistently. These kids, when they grew up, they only remember the last decade, some
Correct.
the last 5 years. So in their mind, Florida State's been the most successful program of that group. So they got it, and it goes in cycles. All three have had their chance.
Chances.
Miami's probably had their chance the last 30 years of being on top of the mountain more than any of them. And a big reason for that is geography. But that's the one right now. And then the Gators, they cleaned it up in record time. I thought they were a 6-7 win outfit. They won 10 this year.
Wow.
And they have the number 5 class in the country right now. The number 4 class is Florida State. Miami's got a top 15 class, but the one thing that all three of them, and maybe not so much the Gators because they only got a couple kids left on their board, but Miami, I think, is going to finish with 4 or 5 guys. And Florida State traditionally closes as good as anybody, stemming back to when Bobby Bowden was there.
Right.
They're in the game for Jawan Williams. They're in the game for Trevon Mullen. They're in the game for Landon Dickerson. They're in the game for the number one JUCO defensive end, Jonathan Congo. They picked up some crystal ball picks like J.C. Sherbert predicted them today. So they got some big fish that they're waiting for. Plus, they're trying to hold on to guys in Dade County like Amir Rizal, like Jamel Cook.
Jamel
So,
Cook. That's what I was thinking.
yeah, so they're going to have that's a team that'll get as much coverage from now until signing day because they have the most activity still left on the board. Some programs only got 2 or 3 guys left that they're still waiting on.
And the Gators are pretty filled right now, too, right?
Yeah, the Gators are still waiting on the guys from American Heritage.
Mhm.
They're waiting on a couple linebackers, and that's about it.
Now, but Ryan, and I looked at a lot of Michigan. Like you said, Michigan had a big weekend. I mean, when you talk about a big weekend, Michigan, like you say, did the camp here. You know, they came in the bowl and they did the camp here. That's where me and you first met. And now I'm hearing that they're trying to do a practice over at IMG.
Spring practice.
How big is that?
In Orlando too, which I think
Wow.
that's a treat for their kids. It's a
Yes.
treat for their alums, their fan base. This is cutting edge stuff. I think it's brilliant. But not only did they do a satellite camp in South Florida, they did one in Houston, they did one in Dallas, they did one in Prattville, Alabama, they did one in Atlanta, they did one in Southern California. What do they all have in common? That's the places I go every year. That's where the dudes are at. And guess what? They have at least one commit, sometimes up to 5 or 6 in all those places. I mean, they got Devin Bush and his teammates down here and a couple other South Florida guys.
Yeah.
They got a big-time commit D-tackle out of Houston. They got a running back from Prattville, Alabama.
Right.
They
Yes.
got David Long out of Southern California.
Right.
So they know where the dudes are. That's why obviously the satellite camps were in those places.
But I'm gonna tell you something. Do we start seeing a trend? Because I'm gonna tell you something now. You know, it reminds me of when Rutgers put up big billboards outside of Fort Lauderdale Airport
Smart.
and Miami
Yeah.
Airport. Do we start seeing schools start the trend on doing satellite camps, doing practice far away from their location to help with recruiting?
I think the ones that are serious about it, want to put in the time and the energy and the effort, will do that. Ohio State also did that.
Yes.
I think also you have the mega power known as the SEC saying, hey, stay out of our geography, stay out of our backyard.
Yeah.
Let those kids come there. Let us get first, second, third dibs, and then you can get fourths and fifths.
I mean, and Ryan, you said, well, you would say stay out of our backyard. When I think about state of Florida, South Florida, I think about University of Miami, and I had a chance to meet Coach Mark Rick on a couple of occasions. He came in and did a home visit because Michael Irvin stays with me, and he came in and did a home visit. There's some things that I liked about the guy. That was my first time ever really sitting down and talking with him and meeting with him. I love the fact that when I call those F's, football, faith, and family, he loves those. He's one of the guys that he believes in. You get it in within that 8-hour span. If you don't, that means it's too much. You guys go home. Because he understands that if their coach's home is intact, that makes them even coach a lot harder because they don't have to worry about their wives, one aggravated, because wives can get impatient sometimes too in this business.
I was talking to a coach last night out on the West Coast,
Yes.
and a tremendous recruiter, by the way. But anyways, he said, when I'm on the road so much, not only do I have to recruit these kids, when I go back, I have to re-recruit my family.
Yes.
Because they haven't seen me for a week at a time sometimes too.
And I understand that because even with me, when I coach a little bit, your family sleep when you're home. When you get home, they're asleep when you leave. So there could be times where you even home and you don't even get a chance to see your kids.
Hey, there's tough balance. I mean, try writing about 60 teams about
Yes.
it too. I mean, you kind of know that going in. It's going to be not your accustomed 8 to 5 lifestyle. So and you have different coaches too that are wired differently. Some of them want to do that 8 to 5 and 8 hours is enough and coach your team and recruit your couple guys. But you got some guys that are 18-hour day guys that they don't know anything
Yes.
else, and
Yes.
they are absolute machines.
And that's the beauty of all this process, because not only do it affect the kids, the coaches, but it affects the kids' parents that sometimes we tend to overlooked in this whole entire process. We tend to overlook the kids' parents because they're affected by it the most, especially when you got a kid that's a high 5 or 4 star kid. The phone is ringing, the kid's phone is ringing constantly, and you're a parent. You got to be able to balance all this for the kid, academic, athletic, who he is as a person. A lot of that goes into this process, and a lot of people tend not to understand what a parent goes through in this process. You being in this recruiting, for the last couple of years all across the country, what are some of the things that parents tell you when it comes to the phone ringing? How do they balance all this out?
Yeah, I mean, and I deal with all types, and a lot of them lean on their high school coach for
Correct.
guidance for that. But if not, they'll try to detract the use on something that's advented the last couple of years is social media.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And try to control that because that's something these athletic directors before these kids sign, that's something that they look at is their behavior on Twitter, what they're retweeting, what they're saying, and that's being looked at in the evaluation process
Right.
sometimes more than the kids film if you can play or not. So that's something going forward that I think the kids are really trying to monitor, but more so the coaches.
And Ryan, I wanted to find out, and it's a lot of schools involved in this top kid that everyone's wondering the number one guy, Rashawn Gary. What is your insight on where he may end up? Since we're talking about Michigan, and I know Michigan
Yes.
is one of the team players
Yeah.
on there, one of the big players in on his list. What does your crystal ball say about Rashawn Gary and where he may end up?
I crystal balled Rashawn to Michigan last February 2nd. That's the day Michigan hired Chris Partridge,
Uh-huh.
who was his high school coach at Paramus
Right,
in New
right.
Jersey. Now Chris has worked his way up where he's a linebackers coach. He's on the field. He's not the director of recruiting anymore.
Mhm.
I think Michigan sits in as good a position as anybody. Now, Rashawn does have one official visit left
Uh-huh.
this weekend. That'll either be Alabama or Clemson. He hasn't
Correct.
made his call yet.
He hasn't made his call, okay.
His uncle lives 15 minutes south of Clemson's campus in
Wow.
Anderson, South Carolina.
Yes.
So there's a tie there where Clemson may not have beaten Alabama in the title game, but they might beat them out for an official visit
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
for the number one player in the country.
Wow.
At the same time, he's already been to Michigan on an official.
Uh-huh.
He went back for an unofficial last weekend. He's already been to Ole Miss, which I think is the biggest competition for him right now, for Michigan, excuse me. He's already been to LSU twice in the summer. He's been to Auburn on an official as well. So, one thing I don't think you count out, two factors in this. One,
What is it?
Michigan's getting whoever they want in New Jersey.
Correct.
They got Kareem Walker. They're probably going to get his teammate Donald Stewart any day now, wide receiver. They got the two kids from Camden. They got Amir Mitchell. So they're owning New Jersey. Second factor, too, and I've already said this once on this spot, if you get the mom,
You got
you get the kid.
Right.
correct.
And the mom is being torn all over the place.
Wow,
2
I
weeks
can
ago, they
imagine.
were there in beautiful Southern California.
Yeah,
I'm
yes.
sure she wouldn't mind living there. And Gary actually grew up liking the Trojans. So they're kind of a dark horse in this deal. But at the end of the day, Ann Arbor's going to be hard to beat.
Right, and like I said, in approximately about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, we'll be getting an announcement from Sam Bruce, who the nation wants to know, Ohio State, Miami, or South Carolina. But before we answer that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We're going to play this fight song, and then we're coming back here on the Tony Sands Show.
And what fight song is that?
We're going to let you find out as Doug play the fight song. to hear it from a mother's point of view, a mother that is raising a son. You very rarely get a chance to hear what they go through in this process because it is a process. You tend to, the phones nonstop. People are coming in and out the house nonstop. You're out in the public and your friends and everybody's saying, hey, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? Not only will you hear from Sam Bruce, but you're going to hear from his mother. She's going to give you a little insight on what this process has been like for her. Mom, let's dig into this. Now, and me and you talked about it on the bus down at UM. Now,
Yeah, we did.
and we talked about this process and how it is so vital that people understand what parents are going through.
Yeah, it's a very grueling process, but I was complaining the other day, and a friend of mine said it could be much worse. The phone could not be ringing.
Yeah.
Yes.
The process can be very tough. It's our job as parents, Tony, to keep the kids rooted and grounded. I mean,
Correct.
you talk about 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. Everybody telling them how good they are. You know,
Correct.
they're this, they're that. You know, they're the best thing since sliced bread.
Correct.
But it's our job as a parent, and I always tell people it's my job to be the weights around Sam ankles.
Correct.
When he get home, he still got to empty the garbage. You still just Sam
Yes,
at home.
yes,
You are
yes.
not Sam Bergini. You are not Sam Bruce. You just Sam. I mean, really. But it's a grueling process. But you know what? We're a praying family,
Yes.
so we welcomed it, and we just asked God for guidance and lead us,
Correct.
and to kind of help us through the process because it can get overwhelming if
Yeah.
you're not careful.
And like I told you, my son went through the process, Mom, and I know it from being a player and being a dad in this.
Hmm.
But what is it like being a mom in this process? I'm speaking from a dad.
Yeah.
Side. What is it like being a mom in this process?
It's trying. It can be. I mean, I've been through an array of emotions. Some days I'm so excited for him and happy for him, and then other days I'm saying I'll be so glad when they stop calling me. I mean, the first day that the black period was lifted, I got 14 phone calls before 10:30 a.m.
Wow.
Right. So I was like, enough already. So, and I told him, I said, Sam, these coaches about to drive me crazy. He was like, welcome to my world, Mom.
Welcome to
I'm
my
like,
world.
wow.
Let's see what I deal with
But
on a daily
it can
basis.
be difficult. It can be very difficult. And again, as parents, it's our job to keep the kids rooted and grounded and to help them make a quality decision. Because yes, football is an avenue that they're using, but the ultimate goal is to get a college degree for free.
Correct.
And I have two daughters that one just graduated from college, one getting ready to graduate. So the fact that I have a child that's able to get a phenomenal education because of a skill that God has blessed them with, I'm good with
And
it.
I think one of your baby your daughters is a
Engineer.
Engineer.
The
Yes.
oldest one,
Yes.
she's an engineer. She lives in Orlando. She finished a year and a half ago.
Wow.
So when you still got Parent Plus loans from those two, you're like free. Woohoo! Yeah, but it has been it's been a roller coaster. But it's been fun, and I tried to help Sam as much as I could. I talked to him about football at home as little as possible because when he hits the door, everything outside is football, football, football. And it's our job as parents to keep them rooted and grounded and to kind of give them balance. Life away from football. Football is what he does. It's not who he is.
And how do you, like you say, you always say how you got to keep them grounded. What are some of the things that and how you go about keeping them grounded? What are some of the things that you have done so that way other parents know this is what you need to do to make sure that your child stay grounded because they become overnight superstars at an early age.
Yes. Well, Sam has been getting this attention since about the 8th grade. So
Exactly.
we've been doing this for like 5 years. And it just gets bigger and bigger to the point where I don't even go to the Broward Mall with him at all. Because we get no shot. I just sit down in the chair and watch his pass. Let me know when you're ready. I'm like
You
the
are ready,
driver.
yes.
But as a parent, we have to remind them. I said it the other night, and the guys kind of looked at me funny at Miami, but whether it's football, basketball, baseball, track, whatever, it's still just a game.
Yes.
And you have to remind them. Even though men make millions of dollars to play this game, at the end of the day, it's still just a game. And with a game, you should have fun.
Correct.
Anytime it gets to be so drudgery and so to the point where it overtakes you, it's no longer fun. So, now it becomes work. And I have to keep reminding him that Sam is just a game. It's a tool that God has given you, and you use it in the earth to make people happy. I love sports because sports is the place that the garbage man and the CEO even more. It's
even
no
kid.
big me and no
Yeah,
little you.
exactly.
So, I do what I can as a parent to remind him that it's still just a game. We do fun things at home to kind of take his mind off of football because literally it has consumed him for the last 4 months.
Because as you know, in a matter of what is it, 4 or 5 months, your baby will be leaving the nest, as they say.
Yes, he will.
What are some of the things that you have made sure that the tools that you have given him to navigate himself through once he stepped foot on a university's campus?
Going to college these days, a child needs one tool, and that's a Bible. I say that
Yes,
so serious
yes,
because
yes.
every answer to every question
It's the
that
manual.
they will ever have
Yes.
is somewhere it lies within those 66 books.
Yes.
But Sam comes from I'd like to say we're pretty well-rounded family. We do a little bit of everything. We've been exposed to a little bit of everything. So college should be easy. He should be able to matriculate to the next level and not even miss a beat. Because I think along with the coaching staff that God has placed around him, different people that God has strategically put in Sam's life. Now that's what I do as a parent. I keep his circle small.
That's
I
smart.
keep it small on purpose.
That is smart.
And
That
he
is smart.
sometimes don't like it. I can look at a person and tell,
They ain't
wrong
coming.
motives.
I don't want to. I don't want to come
Ulterior
around.
motives,
I
hidden
don't want him coming
agendas.
around.
No.
I like that.
I don't want him coming around.
Right. My
Yes.
job is to keep and I tell him all the time, and he gets upset with me sometimes. I say, Sam, I'm your ally.
Yes.
I am not your enemy.
Yes, I'm gonna be your
And
biggest.
as your mother, I can see stuff that you don't see.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
the tools to prepare him for college was just keeping him rooted and grounded, keeping family around him, keeping his circle small with people who
important.
truly love Sam
That truly
for
cares
Sam,
about-
and not for football.
Truly cares about Samuel.
Right, Samuel. Yeah,
And
because I
that's-
don't
you
know
remember how-
when
you know how I
the
mentioned-
UEL got dropped off his name. He did that himself. I don't even know when that happened. That was his thing.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you because that happened to me.
Really?
My name. A lot of people don't realize my legal name is Max.
Mm-hmm.
When I be in 8th grade, and I played, you got to think I started playing this game in the 8th grade,
Right.
the same way.
Mhm.
So when I got in 8th grade, and all of a sudden I started playing this game, and my name started hitting the paper a little bit, I said Max, it didn't fit right. Max, it just didn't fit right. That's my dad's name, that's my
Right.
legal name. I kind of like Tony a little better.
Wow.
Tony is more catching to me. But I always, when I got off the field, because people say you're like two people.
Alter ego.
When I get off the field, I'm Max.
Mm-hmm.
That's the more settled, relaxed type of guy, the guy that's more helping, gonna do what he can to help. That Tony guy, when he comes around, he is that,
That's the beast
That
on the
alter
field.
ego.
yes,
the
that's
alter
that,
ego.
yes,
Like,
that alter
who
ego,
was
that's that man.
Beyonce.
That's
Yeah.
that
Beyonce
man.
and Sasha Fierce.
Yes.
Alter ego. She put on them stilettos. That's it. She
It
changed
is,
gears.
and I'm telling you, and I know, because I mentioned that to you. I say
Yeah.
there's a difference between it because I understand it. There's a difference between the two people, and we must understand that when we're away from the game, we are that first
That other
name that was
person.
given to us because that's the person we were when we were born, and when our family enrooted those values in us. Because, like I say, and you spoke about the Bible, once you have that deeply enrooted, with you,
Right.
and the Bible speaks of that.
Right.
That regardless of where you go, you will turn back to that.
Exactly.
And that's you said a mouthful that if you have that Bible.
Train a child in the way that they should go, and when they're older, they will not depart.
There you
They
go.
kind of drift off because boy, I did some
Oh,
drifting
yeah.
in my
Oh,
life.
listen, yes,
But
we
you
all
know
have.
what? We
And
all
have.
come back.
We all will come back because we have that
We come back to
foundation.
the
That foundation
source.
Yeah.
was built in us. And these guys let me tell you something. It's gonna be like you say that grass and that weed.
Let them grow together.
Yes.
And God will do the separating.
And he's
Yeah.
gonna separate those two, and
Mhm.
these young men become overnight superstars.
Yes.
And with overnight superstars, there comes, like you said, Mom, those hang-ons.
Wolf in sheep's clothing.
And I got the guys just so busy trying to navigate through playing the game that they don't understand that certain people that hang on, they are those wolves,
Yeah.
but they come to you in that sheep clothing, and you don't know, and that's why you say,
You don't
Mom,
know.
You don't know.
Mom
You
knows
have no
best.
idea.
I tell people
No.
always, Mom knows best. When Mom has that intuition
That gut.
about something,
Don't
you
do
better
it.
start listening
Yep.
because they have that sense to know, this person doesn't seem right at all. Why am I dealing with this person? Why? And that's important. And I see, Mom, in my time I've been around you, and I see that's the one thing because I did my research on.
I
I
know
told
you did.
I did my research on Sam when I first met him. I saw him at a game, and I said, "Ooh, I like that kid. That kid got swag." I'm standing. This is at American Heritage, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, "Ooh, I like that kid. That kid reminds me of me a little bit. I saw him walking up the sideline, and he was walking, bopping, and stuff. I'm like, ooh, I like that of him. You know, a lot of people don't like that. I said, ooh, I like that. And I said, oh. Then the guy said, you know, that's Sam Bruce. I said, Sam Bruce. He said, yeah. So at St. Thomas. He was at American Heritage. I said, okay, so that's what you did that was with Roger. And I said, oh, I know I love him now because he's in that brotherhood of us. And then I did my research because when he first came on the show, like you say, he has because he was a praise dancer, and that's how you know. And I hit him with it. He was like, "Oh, so
where you found that?
Where you find that out? How you knew I was a
like,
praise dancer?" Yes, I did my research on the kid because I always feel you do your research on it. You want to find out when you're doing anything with anybody, and that's what the kids need to learn. Do your research on who comes around you,
Right?
Because it's gonna sooner or later it's gonna give you the motive
Google
of why.
Google them. Google will tell you
And
everything.
you know that's so amazing.
And it's
now.
funny, but it's true.
Yes, you Google them, they're gonna give you that perception of who they are.
Up to date too.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's up to date information because it is what it is. Mama, we within 6 minutes of your baby deciding where he want to go. What is the anticipation like with you right now? What is going through your mind? And
Well, because I already know I'm.
yeah,
good.
you already know. I know you know.
Relaxed all day today because you made this decision yesterday, so I was like, I'm good. But I want to first think. You know, I think he ended up with like 36, 37 offers.
Wow.
I want to first thank the colleges that saw enough in him to extend to him, you know, the opportunity to come to their school and play. And I don't care if it was I think his first offer came from University of Central Florida, which is a D1 school, but relatively smaller, or if it was an Ohio State or, you know, an Alabama. We just thank them for even seeing enough in Sam to extending the opportunity for him. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we had the 3 schools and we were looking at them, and basically when we looked at them, they were all even keeled. And so the ultimate decision was his, and I'm pleased with his decision. And like I told him, I don't have to run a route. I don't have to sit up in a class. I don't do none of that. So you have to be ultimately happy. And something else I want to say, Tony, when we're talking about being a parent, we can't live vicariously through our children.
Yes.
We had a chance.
Yes.
And if you messed up your chance then, and you just what I call a little league legend, we were talking about.
We talked about that, that little league legend guy.
Then that's on you. You had your chance.
Yes.
We have to stop trying to live through our children and let our children live their lives for them. Our job, I tell Sam all the time, God in his infinite wisdom gave children parents.
Correct.
And we're there to lead and guide them, not live vicariously through them. So I'm glad that the process is over. It was fun. I enjoyed the 5-star restaurants. I had a panoramic view of Miami this weekend.
Let me tell you something, and that's the first thing me and her were talking about on the bus. We looked at your view.
Yes, beautiful. I could see all of Miami. I was like, oh, I've just been existing. I haven't been living. But yeah, it's phenomenal. And the colleges do a great job of entertaining.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
They all did.
Yes.
We went to Ohio State. We had a ball. He went to Carolina last weekend. So they all do a great job. So just thank you for all the colleges that saw enough in him to extend the opportunity to him.
Mom, hey, you've been just that to him. You've been a great mother to him and your other girls, your 2 girls. Coming up on decision time in about 3 minutes here on the Tony Sands Show, guys. You're speaking with the mom of Sam Bruce. Do you get that a lot?
I do.
Sometimes you
I'm
lose
Bruce's
your name.
mom. I have no name. I'm Bruce's mom. And I'm so used to it now, I just turn around. Bruce's mom. Hey, sweetie, how you doing? Listen, I could be somebody else's mama.
Yes.
I'd rather be Bruce's mom. Right. I could be anybody else's mama. I'd rather be Bruce's mom.
Yes,
but I love it. And but it takes some, you got to really navigate through it because it's our job to protect our kids.
Yes, that is. And
it's our job. And sometimes they're not happy with the way we protect them and who we protect them from.
Yes, they have that
But
fight.
at the end of the day, if you got those 66 books, it all works out.
You hear it here on the Tony Sands Show. Mom said, if you have those 66 books.
66 books, and I make no apologies for it. I'm talking about G-O-D, capital G-O-D.
And listen, you can say that here on the Tony Sands Show because that's what it is.
Yeah.
That book is that manual. I call it, it's like a manual. Anybody that makes anything, they give you a manual of how it must work. And the man that, the grand creator gave us that book, that manual to life. He is that, the grand creator over God, giving us that book to success. We're coming back here live on the Tony Sands Show. 2 minutes And it is decision time. Here on the Tony Sands Show, let's play a fight song. Whichever one comes off the reel, my man Doug is going to play that fight song. We're coming back here on decision time on the Tony Sands Show live at the Tilt to Kilt in Fort Lauderdale, downtown. Beautiful food, beautiful people. Come down here and get your food. Come down here and eat. Stay tuned here as we go to a commercial. Where is Sam Bruce going? Where is he going? Is it Ohio State? Is it Miami? Is it South Carolina? Because those are the three. Those are the three. We're finna break this down. We finna cut everything out. All the questions of men are going to be answered at this moment. Sam Bruce, next year, where will you be playing your college football?
The next 3 to 4 years, I'll be playing football at the University of Miami.
Hold it up to you. It will be the University of Miami. The University of Miami. Sam Bruce has chosen the U over Ohio State and South Carolina. Sam, let's dig into that. Because everybody's trying to figure out what was it about the University of Miami that you love that made you choose the University of Miami?
I mean, who doesn't want to play home, man?
Wow.
Playing in front of my people, playing in front of my city. I mean, it's gonna be unbelievable, man. It's crazy. I've been playing here for forever, and I don't want to take that away from my people, man. I want to play in front of my people. I want to play in front of my fans. That's been my fans since the beginning of time, man.
What was it like going down to the University of Miami? Because you had your official
Right.
this weekend.
Right.
What was it like when you guys went out on the town? What were people saying to you?
Oh man, it was all love. Anywhere we went, we were stopped. We were talked to, man. Everyone knew who we were. I mean, the strangest people knew who we were. Like just walking on the street or in the bathroom.
Correct.
Just wanted to meet you and congratulate you. And I mean, in advance, not even knowing if we were going there or not. Just congratulate you and welcome you to the University of Miami, man. And man, I just felt at home. Every time I go to Coral Gables, man, I feel at home. 35, 40 minutes away from home, and from Fort Lauderdale. And I mean, I'm ready to get it done.
Ready to get it done.
Ready to get it done.
Ready to put your stamp on that great list of Miami receivers
Sure.
to go from the college ranks to the pro, because it's a whole
Sure.
list of them. And then you get opportunity each and during the season, you got a chance to be mentored by one of
Right.
the great legends. Michael Irvin
Right.
would talk to you all the time, and Mike called me on, hit me up before. He was just landing in Hawaii. He's on a plane, don't supposed to be on the phone.
Yeah.
And he said, man, listen, tell Sam, Cane Nation is the place for him to be.
Sure.
It is what it is, Cane
Sure.
Nation, because he is one of the biggest Canes in the country, and then he is a friend, a mentor to you. Listen, it is what it is. It is already stated that Sam Bruce will be attending the University of Miami. Hurricane fans, go and get your Sam Bruce jerseys because it's finna be electrifying in the building.
Let's get
Mr.
it, man.
Electrifying. We're going to give you that name.
Let's get it.
Quick Six is in the mix. Cane Nation, you have just heard it here on the Tony Sands Show. It was decision night, and you got a chance to see Sam Bruce make his decision here on the Tony Sands Show. Sam, man, it was a pleasure to have you to make your decision here on the Tony Sands Show. That means that you don't know what that meant to me early in the day when I heard that. I was ecstatic. I was ecstatic to know that I meant that much to you, that you would give me that opportunity here on my show to make that decision. Man, you continue. Listen, you know I'm in your corner. Anything you need, I'm here. We are family. This is family. Understand that, people. We are family, bro.
Soon to be alumni.
Yeah, 5 months, as he say.
5 months.
5 months.
So we all the way wrapped
5
in.
months. We are all in here on the
All
Tony
in,
Sands
all
Show.
the way in.
We're going to head to a commercial break. Play that Miami fight song all the way through. Cane Nation, Quick Six is what it is here on the Tony Sands Show.
Congratulations, welcome.
Congratulations, baby. Cane Nation. going to electrify that football field. When you look at his play and the way he plays the game, he is that electric spark that will make the Hurricanes go back to what those days of the national championship days with that class that's coming in with him, Roy. It's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, they should be pretty excited with the class that they're bringing in, and the job that Mark Richt's doing kind of gives them a lot of promise for
big time.
The promise they haven't had in years. So
yes,
the fan base, I pretty much presume that with the class that they're bringing in, ticket sales, a lot of paraphernalia, the stores and things like that for paraphernalia and all type of athletic gear will be it'll be flying off the shelves. So that's good for the program. Goes
Good
along.
for
The basketball team program is doing good right now. So they're on the up and up all the way around.
And they're playing
athletically.
Duke tonight.
Game
So I
against
know a
Duke
lot
tonight.
of their fans are wondering what was the decision. I'm quite sure they probably jumping for joy in the arena that they have just got that cane that they wanted to get. They got that true cane. Sam Bruce was a Hurricane through and through.
Yes.
He is that Hurricane. That's when you, like you say, guys that commit to the school.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys that, hey, he reminded me a little bit of me when I say I want to commit to that. I want to commit to the Hurricane.
And it's good that he's a hometown guy. He wanted to stay hometown, and he looked at it from a perspective of he wants to play for the people.
Yes.
And he's a guy of the people, good background that his mother spoke on earlier, coming from a grounded family. And I think that's big because he's considering the fan. And we talked about earlier about how Cam Newton, in the Super Bowl aspect of things, how he brings the kids back into the Carolina Panthers whole understanding. I think what Sam is doing is he's bringing the fan, or at least where we can't connect, the fans haven't been able to connect, at least the younger ones, to the Canes of the 80s and the early 90s. Now that young fan, he may be starting that young fan that will now see as, okay, I have a figurehead or a face to put with the program.
Not only with Sam Bruce making his commitment to UM is beating Duke 21-19. It is going crazy here in South Florida. winning. They win on the football field and on the hard court. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we're coming back with that Ute song in just a few minutes. But we're going St. Thomas Aquinas basketball. Hoop is in the building. We have guys that they try to Kevin Hart me, but I ain't going to allow it. But we're going to go to a commercial break, and we're coming back here on the Tony Sands Show. Basketball in the building. Back here on the Tony Sands Show, live at the Tilt the Kilt in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We were talking football, but now we have switched gears. We're going from the grass to the hard court. And when I say the hard court, one of the high-profile hard courts in the country. These guys, I tend to not like being around these kind of guys because they're so tall. They make me look like Kevin Hart when I stand around them. So that's why I don't even like, when I get in the picture with them, I make sure I stand on the side of them, because if I stand in the middle, then you really see how short I am. Me and my wife fight if I'm 5'5" or if I'm 5'6". We fight on that. But I say I'm 5'6" and a half. She say I'm 5'5", if you let her tell it. She was there one time when the pro scouts measurement, they measured me at 5'5" and a half. So that's just embedded in her brain. I told her I am 5'6" and a half. That guy just didn't know how to measure out. Have you guys here on the tape? Chris,
Yes.
how tall are you, brother?
I'm 6'8".
6'8"? Can you imagine, guys? I'm standing here with a 6'8" b-ball player. What has St. Thomas Aquinas basketball meant to you?
I mean, it's basically been like a family to me.
Yes.
I've been with them since sophomore year. I've had Coach Strand for 3 years, and it's basically been like my brothers. That's what's got me through. Like, I've always been with them.
What schools? Are you committed to a school? Or
I'm committed to Flagler College in St. Augustine.
Wow, 6'8". And how much food do a 6'8" person eat?
That's a lot of my mom's bills.
A lot of bills.
Yeah.
Now, is the grocery bill high,
Yeah.
tall like you are?
Yo.
Who out of both of your parents? Some people can be pretending like me. I took after my mom. Because I tell my mom she should have, either boost my dad height up or something. But it is what it is. I took after my mom. Who height do you take out?
It's kind of on both sides. On my mom's side, I have a few uncles that are just a little bit shorter than me by like an inch. And then on my dad's side, my grandpa is 6'6".
Right.
And my uncle is 6'4".
Wow, 6'4". Ooh, you come from a whole list of young Arabs. Anybody else play basketball in your family?
My mom played in high school.
Okay, so you get your athletic ability. So what you're saying now, you get your athletic ability from your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So dad ain't give you that part. Dad might have gave you some of the height, but the athletic part came from your mom, is what you're saying.
He gave me baseball.
Oh, he gave you
He
baseball.
was a baseball guy.
Now, a guy your height in baseball, would you be a pitcher?
Yeah. I was a pitcher.
Oh, you look at him. I know. Look at him. I'm here on the Tony Sands Show. I'm calling him out. What is it like being a 6'8" pitcher? Is it an advantage to you?
Yeah. I mean, the main advantage is the ball is traveling down.
Yes.
So it's harder to hit.
Okay. It's harder to hit. But we standing by, and you stand by 6'7", Hank?
About like 6'7", 6'8", too.
6'7". See, so Hank like me, I'm gonna let you figure it out. 6'7", 6'8", I'm gonna give you that. I ain't gonna tell you my true height. I'm just gonna let you measure it out. What has St. Thomas basketball been like to you?
It's like he said too. Just we all know each other. We all know like our families, our brothers, our sisters. We all get along so well.
Uh-huh.
There's no drama between us. We all we get along. We know how we play, and we just feed off each other. Like one night, if someone's not playing well, someone else will pick it up, take their spot. If someone's down, we pick their head up. Like we tell them good job, like get back on defense. Like it's just it's hard to fail. We're set for success if we just trust the program, trust the process, trust Coach Strand. We'll be all right.
What is it like having Coach Strand back?
I like it. He knows what he's doing. He's been around so long. Like he knows. He doesn't make mistakes. Like his plays work. He knows what he's doing. And he's gonna get us where we need to be.
Are you committed to any school?
Not yet.
Not yet. What are some of the schools that you could possibly look at? What do us? When you think South Florida, and I know you guys still here a lot, you think football. A guy in South Florida. When I look at I was the basketball strength coach at the University of Kansas on Roy Williams. Those guys were there at that time. Jock Vaughn, Greg Ostertag. Greg Ostertag was at that time was the biggest guy I'd ever seen in my life. I think he was like 7'1", something like that. Huge guy. What schools normally come down here to South Florida looking for basketball?
I mean, I played on a team. I traveled the whole country,
Okay.
going to like circuit games and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that. But I mean, I saw like every school where I went. But he played more locally. If you wanna,
I played around the Florida, Georgia area,
Uh-huh.
like split up between there.
Okay.
So I mean, it was kind of spread out. A lot of schools from the up towards the east
Right.
just come down and travel.
Uh-huh.
And then, but it was mainly like Georgia schools, like schools in the southeast that were
Coming down.
looking around.
Now, what's the future? Are you guys looking to be? What was the state championship game now? It went on. It was in. Where is it? Went on Park or
Lakeland.
Lakeland.
Yeah.
And Lakeland. I'm an alumni. So what is our status on moving forward toward Lakeland?
I think we got a really good chance. I think we got to beat Ely in this like district game and then regionals, and then I think
At that
the
point.
path should be pretty clear to the state championship.
So you're saying that we could possibly win a state championship in basketball and football?
I think we have a good chance.
Because we are the winningest programs around the country. We are, when it comes to all our sports, we are just that. When is your next game?
Tomorrow, we have senior night tomorrow.
Senior night. Wow. At St. Thomas Senior night. As a matter of fact, I may try to get to see, come out and check you guys out. 'Cause I very rarely get a chance to see basketball games because I'm traveling so much. And that way you guys can teach me a little bit about the game of basketball. I used to play basketball, but they say I traveled a lot. They say I took football to the hard court, and you can't mix those two. They say you can't, because I used to travel and I would, nudge guys a little bit, and I try to use my advantage, and then I try to throw a layup, and when I throw the layup, it goes over the goal. So when it came to picking teams, I was kind of last on the picking list. But when it came to football, then I was kind of first, So I always said, you know what, I ain't going to the court. I know they guys going to look over me. I'm going to be the last person that they pick. It was a pleasure having you guys to take time out your busy schedule to come and join the Tony Sands Show, man. Listen, I love having Aquinas on my show. We had a football team all throughout the year, so I told Kelsey, hey, let's reach out to the basketball. Coach Scranton was a coach of mine. Coach Scranton was at the program when I was there, and to see him molding you guys into that mold, man, it's unbelievable. You guys gonna leave because I gotta get a picture with you, but I'm gonna be on the outside, not in the middle. I know y'all gonna try to squeeze me in the middle, but we ain't gonna allow that at all. We're gonna bring Mike up. We're gonna take a commercial break. We're gonna bring Mike up. We're gonna talk to him, and then we're gonna take a group picture. Me and Kelsey probably gonna be on the outside. I don't want to get on the inside, but then they see how short I really am. Unless I stand, I might stand in the chair, and then they sit there and Tony done grew over time. We're gonna head to a commercial break, and we're coming back here on the Tony Sands Show.
All right, thank you, man.
Don't go nowhere.
We'll be here.
As we're live at the Tilted Kilt, I told you we're on the hard court right now. We was on the nice, beautiful grass turf field, but now we're on the hard court. I'm talking here with St. Thomas Aquinas, 6'7". What you play? What position? Power forward?
Small forwards.
How you a small forward and you told me you're 6'8"? Is that normal? But I guess guards are 6'8" now. LeBron James is about your height, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what he's a point guard, correct? That's two guards.
Yeah, LeBron can play anything.
So he can play anything.
I mean,
You give him that credit, he can play anything. He
Yes,
can do
sir.
anything, wherever he want to play.
Yes, sir.
Especially in Cleveland. I mean, LeBron has power. LeBron hire and fire coaches when he get ready. He
Yes,
put his
sir.
own team together.
For sure, for sure.
I know one day you'll love to have that kind of power.
Oh, yeah.
You would love to have that kind of power. Hey, listen, coach, if you don't get it together now, you know if I frown at you in a game, you could possibly be gone. You'll love that. Tell me this, how's your season going this year?
We're doing pretty well. We're doing really good. Like what we're doing this year. We're getting after like about 16-5. So we're playing pretty well.
Now in basketball terms, for those who are not so much on their basketball knowledge, what is that like?
We play defense. We get up and down. Like we're big enough to. We can go big. We can go small. We have a lot of advantages that other teams can't really match up with as far as like just athletic. Like every game so far, we've been bigger than other teams. So that's definitely an advantage for us.
Wow. Now, 6'7" guy, what's your future? What do you want to do once you finish your years at St. Thomas? What are some of the schools that you would like to attend?
I would like to play in a Power 5 conference, but I just want to go to a school that fits me the best. No matter what conference it is, like if it fits me the best, and I have the best chance to succeed there and do something as far as like life after basketball, I think that'd be the best fit.
Wow, life after basketball. How's your academics? Is your academic match in the court play?
They're good. They'll have like a 4.0.
Oh, okay, so you can do anything. I haven't you can do anything you want to.
Yes, sir.
That mean you like LeBron. That mean I can decide. Well, hey, I can do what I want to do because I got a 4.0. It ain't that many guys that's 6'8", 6'7". I'm gonna give you 6'8" because I love when people nudge my height up and tell me that I'm 5'7". You know, I love when they do that to me. I'm gonna give you that you are 6'8". He's 6'8", folks, not 6'7", not 6'7.5", but he is 6'8". What is it like being coached by Coach Strand?
Oh, it's really good. You know, he's hard on us every play. If we turn the ball over, he's making sure we hear from him. That's how it's going to be in college. You can't have turnovers like that. You got to have your energy high at all times. You got to play defense and make sure that you always being aggressive. Like, that's how it's going to be. Because when you get to college, you're going to have the same thing. So it's really well. He gets us ready for this thing.
So now, like I asked the other guys, is there Lakeland in our distant vision?
No doubt, for sure.
No doubt.
No question about it. It's definitely we definitely see it as like we need to make it there. Like we can and we should make it there. We just need to continue to do what we're doing, stay focused, and take it one game at a time.
What are some of your obstacles what are some of the schools that's standing in your way on you guys getting to it?
Definitely Ely. That's in our district, so Lakeland not even in that vision unless we beat Ely. I think Choir too, and if we make it to the Final Four, we go up against possibly Bartow and Lakeland. So it should be hard, but we want to end it.
And when I hear those names, I think football because those are some of the schools outside of Ely. Those are some of the schools that St. Thomas have to travel through in football to get to a state championship. How much pressure is it on you guys to win a state championship being that football team that's going to win? I know they walk around there with their chests out. I know you guys want to walk around with your chests out. Hey, listen, we can do that too. I really wonder, and I'm going to ask Coach Strand because he's going to come up, the head coach of St. Thomas. We're live here on the Tony Sand Show. We're talking with the big man. We're talking with Mike. How you pronounce that last name?
Akuche. It's Akuche.
Akuche?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to let you, Akuche. We're talking with Mike Akuche. 6'8" basketball player at St. Thomas Aquinas High School. A smart young man. As I ask these guys, what is it like being on St. Thomas campus as a basketball player, as an athlete kid?
You know, it's really different because a lot of people look at you like you have a future, which is obviously there because and it's a lot of stuff is available to you. Like you have like obviously the weight room, the ice bath, but it's definitely like if you want to put in the work, like you better make sure you're gonna get it because all the stuff is already handed to you.
Wow. You're hearing it on the Tony Sands Show. We're going to go to a commercial break. Mike, thank you for taking time out your busy schedule. I'm going to take a picture with you guys, but like I told the other guys, you guys are going to put me on the end. You're not going to Kevin Hart me at all. I'm not going to.
Yes,
and when I say that, see, that's why you smile. When I say that word Kevin Hart, you smile at me. That means, guess what, guys? They want to shrink me in. But I'm not going to go for it. I'm going to sit on the ends. We're going to come back. We're talking with Coach Strand, the guy that leads all this, the guy that's been around the program for years. He's back leading these young men possibly on a state championship run. Ely, look out. Why you look out? I'm saying it. They coming. They want that taste for that state championship. Mike, I say that. IQ Shape. What kind of name?
I was Nigerian. My dad's Nigerian.
Oh, Nigeria. Wow, Nigeria. You ever get a chance to go back to Nigeria? You don't ever dream about going back?
I would like to go.
It's in your near future.
Yeah, it's in the near future.
It's in your near future. With Cola and I, we're going to a commercial break. We're going to come back with Coach Fran. We're going to play that U song. Are they U ready here on the Tony Sands Show? Because the U is ready. They just got their big time guy, Sam Blue. So we're going to play that song sung by Max Payne. Are they U ready here on the Tony Sands Show? Is making his way back to his chair. Khil Herbert, Kansas Jayhawks have just landed a Florida commit. Khil Herbert, American Heritage. Wow.
American Heritage big time program.
Yes.
Big time program, big time players has made a decision. One of the ones that we wanted to know where he was going. I call this one, Tony, a diamond in the rough.
That's that pearl at the bottom of the sea. That's a jewel. That's a jewel that you must have. Khil Herbert is joining the Tony Sands Show. All those in Jayhawk Nation, Khil Herbert is joining the show. Khil, you went on your official visit this weekend to the University of Kansas. What was it like?
As soon as I stepped foot on campus, I felt like home there. I loved it, and I had a feeling going up there I would have committed, and I decided to. At dinner, my parents and everybody around me, that I would
Now, wait. Khil left off something, Tony.
What did he leave off?
I know,
What did he leave off?
What happened this weekend and what came down this weekend in that particular area of
Jayhawk
the
Nation.
country.
Jayhawk Nation.
When you stepped off that plane, Khil, Give us the real thing of what you felt when you got off that
Oh,
plane.
you trying to say it was cold?
How did your body feel when you got off that plane?
Was it
We
cold?
know
That's
the
what you're
storms
saying?
were coming across that area. How did you feel?
No, the storms are on the back end. The storms are on the front end. He caught that on the front end.
He caught it on the front
No,
end.
yeah, he caught it on the front end. Wasn't that cold
The
up there?
temperatures were still there though, right?
Yeah.
25. What's 25 is normal.
Did you take Florida jackets?
Nah, I had a nice coat.
You had a nice husky.
Listen, he understands what it takes when he is a true Jayhawk. He understands when I go to this cold weather, I must prepare for the cold weather. It's like taking a person from South Florida.
Right.
They coming down here with the leather coat on when they step off the plane. They know they going to sun in South Florida. They might as well not tank top and flip flops.
Yeah, tank top and flip flops. So when you go up there, I know.
See, one thing about football up there, Kelsey,
Uh-huh.
one thing about that, they prepare you for that. They give you everything. You got your gloves.
Yeah, you get your gloves, your
You ready.
warmers.
You
Yeah,
ready. They ready.
It's different material that
It's
that
different
they
time
give
when
you up there to support.
It's different when me and you play. It's different when me and you play from the simple
Yeah,
fact.
they got more things now.
Yeah,
Provide
NCAA gives them more to make sure that these young men don't get cold. What was some of the play? Did you get a chance to see the basketball arena?
Yeah, we went to a game against.
Oh,
Texas.
you took in a game.
Yeah.
What was that like for you, bro?
It was amazing.
What was that like?
The atmosphere was just it was
Electrifying.
amazing.
Wow. And I'm gonna tell you something.
Number one team in the nation.
Listen, and I'm gonna tell you something. When you're talking about their basketball program,
Yeah.
you gotta imagine now. One time I walked in that arena. Now, so you can imagine how big this thing is. I walked in that arena to a standing ovation, and he can tell you how. Now that's like no other. That's like when I say no other.
Chill bumps all
You gotta
down
think
your
that
skin.
is that's where basketball started.
Yeah, it is. It is. Mm-hmm.
At the University
Go
of
back to the
Kansas.
history. That's where it started.
You go there, and you're there, and you're telling yourself, did you get a chance to see the dorms?
Yeah.
Love them.
I was with my host a lot, and they're pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think of Kelsey, the rooms,
Mm-hmm.
and you got it's only one person in the room, and ain't no two. It's two people, and they look like if you was here in South Florida, they would be like condos, townhouses.
Okay.
That's just what they're like. They're big, and I think at that time I went back some years ago, but they were saying at that time they were even remodeling them.
They're rebuilding new ones next spring, 2017 spring.
Wow. Kelsey, I'm gonna tell you something. That's what made when I went up there, and I had just left Florida State, and at that time they were talking about Burt Reynolds Hall, how Burt Reynolds looked at it, and when I went up to Burt Reynolds, I'm like, I don't like this. They had like the beds were hanging off the wall, like they was kind of
Yeah.
They wasn't
That's that old style, Tony.
Yeah, I'm
that's
like,
that
you know
old
what it-
style.
I guess-
I had that.
I'm like,
beds hang off the wall.
Nah, I can't. Nah, and
Bunk
I had
bed
heard
type
so much
situation.
about when I went here, and I'm looking like, oh, I got my kitchen, I have my living room, I got my 2 bedrooms, we got 2 sinks in the bathroom. Me and you don't have to share the same sink. I got mine, you got yours.
Yeah.
Man, I'm like, you know what? I'm sold. And then I like what was it about the atmosphere that you could describe that was different?
They have so much support around like the whole university. Like I know game days there are gonna be crazy.
Oh.
Looking for basketball, football.
So can you imagine? What was the facilities like too?
Oh, top notch.
Top notch.
I've been to some of the top facilities too in the SEC over summer, so this is right up there.
And I'm gonna tell you something, Kelsey, these are just been built.
Mm-hmm.
They were just built, and like I say, not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because we wasn't down at the stadium when I was there. We was in what we call Anschutz. I don't know that which was right across from Jayhawk Towers is what's the name of the dorms. But we was there. Now these guys are right at the stadium.
Oh, okay.
They're
close to the
right.
stadium.
When they walk out, they walk right out to the stadium. Did you get a chance to see the trailer? The big tractor trailer that was in the back.
Oh,
When you get a chance to go back there, check out the tractor trailer. You'll see me all over. I had to throw that in there. Guys, I had to throw that in there. You'll see me all over it. When I say all over that trailer.
Yeah.
That's when you know you rolling big time. Every city that they roll into, I'm there. I saw y'all taking, y'all do some dude up things. Now I saw y'all with the green thing behind you. Oh man, y'all they flicking it up though.
Yeah, we're allowed to put on like all the gear, so it got some nice pictures.
Oh, okay.
What was that like for parents?
Oh, good.
What did your dad? What was your dad like on this trip?
It was like a vacation for him, so he was taking it on. He loved it up there too.
He
so.
loved it.
Yeah.
What was it like knowing when they, when Reg came in? Because Reggie Mitchell is the one that recruited you here from South Florida. What was it like when he came to the school and stated that he wanted to offer?
Um, it was a great feeling, seeing that I wanted so much by him. So, and just the fact that he came all the way down here, talked to me in person, offered me in person, and a lot to me.
Yeah. That means something when they come down, especially from a place, you figure one of the up north schools, and they're coming so far, Khalil. When they come that far and they come for just you, it should mean something to you, and they're taking their time out because they really, see good
Something
in
in
you, and they want you to be a part of their program. So you keep that in the back of your mind, you'll do just fine up there and leading, turning around that program.
See, people told me, when I went up there, people told me, ain't nothing up there but Toto. I'm like, the Wizard of Oz. All they said, the Wizard of Oz. That's all they said.
Shoes and a poodle.
Yeah, they said the Wizard of Oz. And I said, guess what? I'm going to be the one that paved that yellow big road, though. I'm going to be the one that paved that yellow big road, though.
Yeah.
That was my business because I wanted to go to a place where I put my name on the program. And when people talk about that bird, that Jayhawk in the football realm, I wanted them to know that I was up there as one of those few legends that come through this program. Mm-hmm. And to see a guy that you train, it's almost like seeing your own son. Deshaun went up there as a running back, and now to see you going up, somebody that you train, somebody that you know, that even makes me now want to go back.
Yeah,
I want to go back because I want to take in a lot of, like, I'm going back for the spring game.
A lot of the changes and things.
Yeah, I want to go back to the spring game and then impart, some knowledge to some of those guys that they're in, and take in a lot of the activities that go on during our spring. Because I'm telling, hey, I'm pushing out the Hall of Fame status at the University of Kansas. I'm on that wave of where right now I'm in that area to where we can say, hey, you can get in that Hall of Fame. And that's what I'm pushing. And one day it's going to come to where you can push it. Because I have already, if you can, I'm quite sure you saw the articles in the paper the next day. I already told them what they're getting.
Oh, they're getting a steal.
Listen, ain't nothing like it. They getting a steal of a deal. Jayhawk Nation, this is the true back that you guys been wanting because they said they wanted a big back. They wanted a big back. I think we got a big back with speed. This is your back. There's no other back that's great. And then, like I said, Ryan also of 24/7 Sports put up that article of reasons why a power conference should take you. And the Jayhawk Nation said, you know what? We're going to listen to that. We're going to listen to Ryan Bartow intake and tell us why we should take Khil Herbert. And Reggie was smart. He jumped all over it.
Yeah.
And I told him, you got a steal of a deal, brother.
He did.
You take care of that. They'll be back here in South Florida, I think, Wednesday. They're coming in Wednesday. Coach Beatty is coming in Wednesday. We had Coach Beatty on the show some time ago, and it was a pleasure, man, to see you going. I called you right when you were landing. Hey, Khil, what you doing? Called him again. Hey, Khil, what you doing? I'm starting trying to figure it out. Where you at? What you doing? How is that trip going? Did I get the call from Ryan that that you committed? I was ecstatic. Even though I told him, listen, he's solid. If y'all do what y'all got to do, and he's solid.
Yeah.
He is a solid commit. He's gonna go up there, and like I told him, you work hard. Come from a good upbringing. And you go up there, you make yourself proud, you make your school proud, you make your parents proud. Always remember, anything that you do, you always want to make them proud. If you don't make them proud, then you don't do it. But you're in a family atmosphere. One thing about that atmosphere is a family atmosphere. You felt that a family.
Everybody has each other's back.
Yes. Yes. And they want to win.
Yeah, they want to win.
Getting guys that are part of winning programs like yourself adds to that chemistry, so those guys know what it takes to win. Because I think it was another guy committed at the same time. You was another big time player. Yeah, that committed.
And you'll become an instant ambassador for the program because you're coming from such a recruit-rich area where there's so much talent that they'll look to you, Khil, to kind of open that pipeline again, as Tony did when he attended there. You'll be looked at as that guy to kind of, reach back and open
Bring
that
those guys in.
pipeline and get those guys to up there to help change that program. So you're in a great position. Great position.
Listen, man, it was a pleasure to have you on. But I want you to come back next week. Now, next week we call it pre-signing day. Because we're on Monday. Signing day is Wednesday. We're going to have, every table's going to have a helmet up. You know, we're going to have Jayhawk Nation table all around. Jayhawk Nation all
some
around.
Special stuff at that one.
You know, Jayhawk Nation. So we want to bring you back. Make sure you come back next week, pre-signing day.
With your stuff on now. Wear your gear.
Wear your gear. We wearing gear. Everybody's wearing their gear.
Represent.
Here at the Tony Sands Show. This is why we get the top-notch athletes here on the show. Guys like Khil Herbert, guys like Sam Bruce, Michael Irvin, Mullen. All these guys have been here on the show. All the guys, Aaron Robinson, the Deerfield, the American Heritage guys. This is why these guys come here to the Tony Sands Show, because they understand that we understand what they go through as players. And that is big. Khalil, hey, Jayhawk Nation, you have just landed. He has just landed as a Jayhawk. You keep going now, because you know now you are tied even more together at the hip.
So now your workouts become that much more.
Listen, you know what time it is. Khalil already know what time it is. Now, and I told the report, I said, Khalil gonna go and ask people, hey, y'all know Tony Sands? And I told the reporter, I said, what's gonna happen is people gonna ask him, hey, you know Tony Sands? Yeah, that's the guy that trained me. They put out articles. It was that next day, they were sending me articles all over the place. I already got what they call, I got a lifetime membership now. I got a lifetime membership with Jayhawk Slate, so I can look up anybody at any point in time. It's in my email. As a matter of fact, it's in one of my emails, so I'm going to find it right now. Listen, that's what legends do. This is what happens when you are a legend.
Yeah.
You get those other privileges that come. So I'm telling you, and you got, let me see, there's a lot, some of those records are still out there of mine. So people gonna ask you now, hey, you got your eyes set on something. I think when I left, I had like 17, and I'm the second lead all time in Kansas history.
Yes.
June Henley is the first. I'm the second. So now you got to start putting your name on that record book and getting it up there. So you got to go in there with the mission. We're going in there, but we want to play right away. Best thing about it, like I said, we're speed going to give you that advantage. And they're going to be expecting because you're from Florida. You're going to get people around. He's from Florida, he's from Broward County, from where Tony Sands and Tony Sands training. So the expectations are high. Much expected, much is given. Thank you for joining the show. We're going to head to a commercial break, and we're coming back here on the Tony Sands Show. We're going to be closing out. We're going to bring Ryan Bartow back, and we're closing out here on the Tony Sands Show live from the Tilt to Kilt. You were just speaking with Jayhawk Nation, Khil Herbert. Go Jayhawk. Let's play that U song. We're going to play that Are They Ready U song, and then we're coming back on the commercial break. So we're closing out. Kelsey,
Yep.
it's been a great show. We got
Great
to
show.
thank Ryan Bartow of 24/7 Sports. He
Yes.
is our insider, the true
That's
insider.
the man.
He is the man when it comes to recruiting here in South Florida. No one knows it better than Ryan Bartow
Yes.
of 24/7 Sports. If you want your information, you want it, and you want it nationwide, not only local, because that's why we choose Ryan Bartow as our insider. If you want it live, you want it update, you want it the true information, you choose Ryan Bartow to get your information from. You go to 24/7 Sports,
Yep.
you can look at
Follow
his
him on
crystal ball list.
24/7 Sports.
He's 10, his crystal ball lists are right on point.
Yes.
A lot of guys, even with Sam Bruce, had him crystal ball straight to Ohio State.
Yeah. He doesn't miss.
He
He does his
stayed
homework.
True to the youth.
Yeah. He did.
He stayed true to the youth.
Hometown kid.
Hey,
He gave UM the hometown discount.
Discount, baby. We going U Nation here on the Tony Sands Show. But now, Kelsey, let me tell you, our ratings shot through the roof.
Great show tonight.
Shot through the roof.
Got to thank Sam Bruce. I
Sam
got to
Bruce
thank
got
his mom.
And mom has been, brilliant all the way through. Mom is very smart, very educated.
Very
she
smart.
understands it. She
Very
understands
smart.
everything
Very
about
good woman. Comes from, I mean, just the and we were talking off air, just the circle that she's put around Sam.
What?
He has a very good chance, Tony,
Yes.
to do well at the
Yes.
next level.
Very well.
So he doesn't have that pressure going in
Nope.
that most kids would have, because they have to not only adjust to the school and the surroundings and the hours and all
Yes.
of that. He's already had a good backing, and he could call his mom at any point in time and kind of get that motherly love. So I look for him to not have a problem adjusting in the UM program.
I don't see it, and I think it's going to fit with what he does. They can use him in special teams. They can use him all over.
Yeah.
They can use him all over. When it comes to that, he is that guy. He is
That joker.
Yes.
That joker.
He is the guy that's going to be just what it is. He is a University of Miami commit. Guys, you're here to hear on the Tony Sands Show. Sam Bruce is a U through and through. As we close out here, we're going to end it with, are they you ready? Doug, play that thing, and we're going to close this show out. It's been a great time here on the, thanking Khil Herbert for joining the show, thanking Ryan Bartow, thanking Sam Bruce and his family for taking time to join us here on the Tony Sands Show. It is what it is here on the Tony Sands Show.
Also, Coach Strand.
Coach Strand and the basketball
and
guy.
the Aquinas basketball team. Thank
Yes.
y'all for coming out.
Be on
It was great.
We're closing out. Doug, take us away.